I'm back with a couple week recap of everything that's come in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been a really busy TTM returns since I last saw you. I've been getting a lot of stuff back, so we need to get started right away. And I hope you enjoy everything I've gotten back. We'll start off with Jacoby. These are some baseballs I've purchased. Jacoby Jones, shortstop. He's a shortstop, minor league shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates in single A ball. But it was a third round draft pick and figures to be hopefully a Pirate in the future. And so I bought that. Next up is Ian Kinsler, the second baseman for the Detroit Tigers. That was purchased from the same person that I bought the Jacoby Jones from. Next up is Charlie Blackmon, outfielder from the Colorado Rockies. Oh, holding it the wrong way. No, that's not working. Let's try it like that. There we go. There's Charlie Blackmon. Then the last one is, and this came from the same person that I got the Blackmon from, and this is Corey Seager, Dodger top prospect at shortstop. So possibly future shortstop for the Dodgers. It probably should be. So anyway, that's what those are 4 baseballs I've gotten in. Let me now show you all the TTMs I've gotten in. First off, and again, I don't know a lot of the years of all these cards, so I'm just going to show them to you with the autograph. First off, Bob Addis. This is, again, old school cards. So quite a few of these are old school cards. Bob Addis played for the Chicago Cubs. George Altman, a first baseman that played for the Cubs back in the 1960s. Started off in the tail end of the Negro Leagues, then went to the major leagues, and then played in Japan. And hit quite a few home runs in Japan as well. So he signed that. He also signed a card promoting a book that he's written. And he signed that as well. Next up is former big league manager Joe Altobelli. Played very briefly in the majors, but mostly known for being a manager and a coach in the majors. Next up, Max Alvis. Max Alvis is a second baseman for the Indians. Next up, Ernie Braulio, pitcher, St. Louis Cardinals. Next up, Don Buford, outfielder, Baltimore Orioles. Next up, pitcher, Bud Daly from the New York Yankees. Again, these are all old school cards. Next, Chuck Asijan, LA Dodgers, was got a couple of key hits in the '59 World Series to help the Dodgers win the World Series. He lives locally, not too far from me. Next up, this one I just got yesterday. This is Pirates pitcher Elroy Face, quite a reliever in his day, very good reliever. So there's that. This one I know is a 1997 Topps. This is Bobby Jones, pitcher, New York Mets. Next up is infielder Eddie Casco of the Cincinnati Reds. He's in his early 90s, late 80s, early 90s now, so this was a good success. I was glad to get him. Next up, Hector Lopez, New York Yankees. Played on the '61 Yankees. He was an outfielder. '61 Yankees won the World Series. That was the year of Roger Maris hitting 61 home runs. Next up, Sam Mealy, who played briefly in the majors, but was also the manager for the Minnesota Twins in the 1960s. He's also in his 90s. This, as you can see, this is an old school card. Next up, Joe Moeller, pitcher, Los Angeles Dodgers. Again, this is the early '70s card. Pitcher. Next up, Wally Moon, outfielder, LA Dodgers. Played mostly in the 50s. Next up, the 1969 Rookie of the Year for the Dodgers, Ted Sizemore. Okay, I skipped one alphabetically, so I'm going to go back to it. This is pitcher Milt Pappas of the Baltimore Orioles. There's that. Former manager for the Dodgers, played for the Chicago Cubs, Jim Tracy. Also managed the Pirates and the Rockies as a manager. Next up is Bill Verdon. Bill Verdon was Rookie of the Year in, I want to say, 1955 or something like that. So I can look that up. Not, I just forgotten the year. He sent me that, and I mean, I sent him that, and then he added this postcard. So it was cool to get a second success there. Now I'm going to go to the football successes. Quite a few good Hall of Fame football successes I've had in the last several weeks. The first off was a paid success, $10, but look what I got for it. This is Joe DeLamalure, offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills. Um, this was the card that I sent him, and he signed 3 additional cards. He signed this one. He signed this one, and he signed this one sideways there. And he put his Hall of Fame year on all of them, so it was really nice to get that. Next up is Steve Grogan, former quarterback of the New England Patriots. This one I just got yesterday as well. This is Ernie Mills, wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys. That's, I think, is 99 tops, I believe. Hall of Famer, Lenny Moore of the Baltimore Colts. There's that one. Another Hall of Famer, Jim Otto, Oakland Raiders. Classic card there. Another Hall of Famer. This is Mel Renfro of the Dallas Cowboys, defensive back. Next up, this one I also got yesterday. This was Johnny Robinson, defensive back, Kansas City Chiefs. Next, Billy Ray Smith, linebacker, San Diego Chargers. Next is vintage success, Charlie Trippi. He's also in his early 90s, played for the Chicago Cardinals before they became the St. Louis Cardinals and then the Arizona Cardinals. Hall of Fame defensive back, wide receiver, even did a little quarterbacking. He back in the day when guys played multiple positions. Okay. Next up is a little business card size photo. Got this yesterday as well. This is Bob Nystrom of the New York Islanders. This was not what I sent him, by the way. I sent him a card. I didn't get the card back, but I got this back instead. So Bob Nystrom, Stanley Cup winning player for the Islanders. Next up is an Olympic success. This is Sammy Lee. Sammy Lee won the platform diving gold medal in 1948 and 1952. He's Chinese American, and he wound up becoming a doctor after his athletic days. He sent me a business card as well. He's in his 90s also. He lives actually not too far from where I live, and so I was really happy to get that back. Okay. My last card success, something I really wanted to show you. This is from a YouTuber named Garrett Unruh, Card Cutter 23. Sent me this yesterday. I was really pleased to get it. Garrett just got back from a deployment overseas. He's in the Navy, and he shows him in his pilot outfit. And so if you've not subscribed to Card Cutter 23, please feel free to do so. I think he'd be a great YouTuber, and always like watching his videos. So again, thank you, Garrett, for showing me that. For sending that to me. He sent me a blank one of those as well, which I'm going to keep as well. Okay, then next I'm gonna show you. I have a couple 3x5 successes, but before I show you that, let me show you an author's success. This is Anthony Doerr, Doerr, like the Hall of Famer Bobby Doerr in baseball. Uh, Anthony Doerr is the author of this book called All the Light We Cannot See, and this book won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 2014. And I found him on Facebook, sent him a book plate, and he was kind enough to sign it. And so this is going to be going into the book. This is the book plate. So I'll do that. He also sent me a note. I won't read it, but he sent me a note as well, thanking me for the uh, for wanting him to sign a book plate. Now, my last two are some couple of 3x5 successes. This is Henry Heimlich. Henry Heimlich is the doctor who developed the Heimlich maneuver to save people from choking. The 3x5 card got kind of mangled in the mail. The post office did it, not me. And so there's that. I believe President Michael got him back. And so I saw that and I said, well, okay, I'll send it to him. And he sent it back to me. And finally, the last one is Dana Lynette. If you don't know who Dana Lynette is, you can read the card there. Dana Lynette was he's an appraiser on Pawn Stars. Not on anymore. He was on in the early seasons of Pawn Stars. He did all the early American history stuff that would come through the shop and appraise it, like the John Hancock signatures, Ben Franklin, stuff like that. So anyway, this was been out a long time, but I was really glad to get it back. So anyway, that's what's come in this week, the last few weeks. I'll be back hopefully next time with a lot more TTMs. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.